Well, James Comer is joining the ranks of Republican politicians calling for the defunding of the police, the federal police, but still the police, the FBI more specifically. And I have for you here a moment from a recent interview where he says that he wants to defund the FBI. And then right after it, this is a little combination of two clips. You'll see a past clip of him talking about how against defund the police he is. And before we dive into it, I'm someone who never supported the defund the police proposal. I don't currently. And it was a relatively small part of the left. But based on that small part of the left, that at least was responding to an actual problem that should be addressed, just with what I saw as an incorrect solution being put forward, that became a campaign item for the right to this day. The left wants to defund the police. Oh my gosh. Even though, again, relatively small part of the left. Now, it's them who wants to defund the police.
I have no confidence in the FBI. We need to reform the FBI from top to bottom, and that should be a major priority for the Republican majority. And at the very least, we need to significantly cut their funding. I believe
of all the things that I've heard,
and that's the past clip,
in my 3.5 years in Congress that I disagree with, that I think isn't very good policy. I think that the movement to defund the police is probably the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of. And it bothers me deeply because we have to have law enforcement, especially in times where, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of disagreement. We need to maintain law and order, and our law enforcement personnel put their lives on the line every day. So I want to go on the record, and I hope that every one of my colleagues in Congress will go on the record to say that we strongly support our men and women in law enforcement. And we certainly never want to defund the police.
And now, defund federal law enforcement, he says. And so this is important to point out, number one, because of the hypocrisy, and related to that, because we can't take at face value a lot of these Republican politicians' statements about having a certain principle. We're opposed to that because of this principle, because often the second that principle is no longer politically advantageous, it's no longer a principle, which means they never had an authentic principle. It's not about wanting to support law enforcement. It's about, at that time, he was okay with the state of law enforcement. Now, based on a fabrication of what federal law enforcement is doing, he's not okay, and he does want to defund. He does think that's the solution. It's contradictory, it's hypocritical, but it's something we've gotten very used to with a lot of these Republican politicians. And the other reason it's important to point this out is because it's so absurd, as I've now mentioned a couple of times. At least defund the police after, at least when it got very prominent, after the murder of George Floyd, was trying to put forward a solution to something real. This is putting forward a solution to a fake problem, that the federal government, that the FBI is being weaponized against conservatives. That's not happening. It's made up. And that's what's sad and unfortunate about so many of these Republican talking points. They come from a place of fabricated, fear-mongering subjects and issues that are created. And I wish the supporters of individuals like James Comer could wake up to the fact that the reason James Comer likes talking so much about his accusations against Biden and investigating Biden and we got to go after the FBI and the FBI is coming after you is because that's just words. That's just talk. That's easy. That's not actually coming up with and implementing policy solutions that improve your life in a significant way. So he'll take easy street if you'll let him. But I wish Republican voters would not let individuals like James Comer continue to do that.